Hello, 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 and welcome to the Good Vibes Lifestyle. I'm your host, Leslie Klein, and this is where we help you raise your vibration so you can thrive. And not just you, me too. I do this for me because it reminds me to do these things as well. So I'm your host, Leslie Klein, and every week we come together to explore practical ways to live with higher vibration, clarity, and intention. And we've got a very big show today. There's so much happening in the skies and the energies on our planet. And it's because we've got this full moon in Scorpio happening tomorrow. And it's also Beltane, which is one of the cross quarter festivals right midway between the two solstices, the winter solstice and the summer solstice. So we have Beltane, which is the celebration of not just spring, but things growing and love and just the abundance of Mother Earth. So, this full moon brings deep transformation, emotional truth, and release. And at the same time, we've just entered Uranus in the sign of Gemini. So things are really beginning to shake things up, shake up how we think. This Uranian energy shakes up how we think, how we communicate, and how we perceive reality. So if you're feeling a little bit more intense than usual, a little bit more aware, or even a little unsettled, don't worry, you're not alone and you're not off track. You're actually right on time, in sync with the energies that we have around us. So please, I do want to remind you that I am doing this live right now. So please comment if you would, ask questions, comment throughout the show. This is meant to be interaction with you, not just a one-way street. So let's get into it. Okay, we're going to talk today about how to navigate with all of this with clarity and intention. We want to stay grounded as things accelerate, and they will. And we really want to use this energy to elevate our life. And I want to say hello to some people watching. Kinsley says, cool. Hello, hello. And we have another person. I don't know how to say your name. Let's see. Tahar Rahat says hi. So, hello, everyone, and thank you for watching. This is the Good Vibes Lifestyle, and I come every week to give you ideas and on ways to raise your vibration so you can thrive. All right, so let's talk about the astrology. What is happening in the heavens? Well, let's see. Okay. Let's see. Tahar says, like you are a psychic. I wouldn't claim to be a psychic. I would say more of a metaphysical student. I apply what I learn, and we all have intuition. We are all psychic. It's just a question of, do we listen to our intuition or do we not? And my encouragement is definitely listen to your intuition. Okay. So let's talk about astrology right now. So the sun, the sun has moved into the grounded, steady sign of Taurus, and with that, we are invited to slow down. Remember, Taurus is the bull, and this is in the Western astrology. We're invited to slow down, to reconnect with what truly matters. Tauruses have values. You know, what has value in your life? What is important to you? Also, it's about building something real and lasting, especially as we have these powerful transformative energies that are beginning to unfold. And this has been happening for quite a while. So the sun entered the sign of Taurus on April 19th. So for the next month, happy birthday to our Tauruses in the house. And this is now your season in terms of the sun, the sign the sun is into it. The sun was in the sign of Aries, and Aries is all about starting something new, whereas Taurus is now about that new seed that you planted, and you have a little baby plant. Now it's time to nurture and grow it, to grow those seeds. So Taurus energy is a time to slow your pace, to get grounded in your body. It's an earth sign. So the earth sign has to do with our physicality, around our environment and our physical body. environment. And we want to focus on building stability. Tauruses love things to be foundational, stable, steady. That's the energy of Taurus. So we want to focus on building stability, building pleasure, and lasting value in the areas of life that are most important to you. So here are some qualities of this grounded Taurian energy that we're into now. Grounded and stable. We want to focus on security, consistency, and creating a solid foundation. Patience and persistent is this energy. Slow progress, but meaningful and long lasting. Sensory and pleasure oriented. Like I said, Tauruses love sensuality and things that are pleasurable, like eating good food or enjoying a good movie. Um, enjoying food, nature, comfort, beauty, and the physical world. Again, it's an earth element or earth sign. The other thing, practical and resource focused. This Taurus energy is when it comes to money and values and what truly supports you in your life. Also, Taurus, this Taurus energy is loyal and committed. The energy that sticks with what matters rather than jumping around, right? Tauruses are more stable than like Geminis, which are kind of butterflies, flitting here and there. That's more of an air sign. Um, okay. And let's see. Now, the Taurian energy is also very stubborn. That's the shadow side of the aspect. So, having resistance to change or holding on to things too tightly. So, it's about stabilizing your energy and investing in what will still matter months or years from now. So, again, this Taurian season now, we planted those seeds in the Aries season, and now we're into Taurus. And so now we want to grow and nurture those projects, especially the long term projects. And let me check my, okay, send. Um, yes. So let's move on here. And let's see here. Okay, take that off there. The other thing I wanted to mention is that all the planets right now are direct. They're not as opposed to being retrograde, meaning they look like they're going backwards. So they're all direct. And that means the energy has been moving forward. This has been part of this Aries energy that we've been in. Now, until this will be like that until May 6th, when Pluto will become retrograde. But then we have the one planet that will be retrograde. So, this is just important to know because if you are working on any kind of projects or things, take advantage of this forward moving energy because it's going to start slowing down. May 6th, Pluto goes retrograde. But right now, we've got all that energy. So, use that energy to create what it is that you want to manifest in your life. So now let's talk about this full moon tomorrow on May 1st at 1:23 p.m. in the sign of Scorpio. Now, I love Scorpio because I am a Scorpio. Scorpios are very intense signs. Scorpio energy is also a water sign, so it's very intuitive, very resourceful energy, and Scorpios love to figure out what's going on underneath, right? Underneath, what's hidden. Scorpios love to be great detectives and really find out what's going on. So, this moon is also called the flower moon because this is the month that the flowers start blooming. So, the Native Americans and other shamanic teachers like to follow they give actually a label. They label each of the moons each month with a certain kind of tendency, or they name it to label it to what that moon is representing around that time of the year. So the flowers are blooming in the month of May. And so that is something that, um, that is why it is called the flower moon. The other big thing that's important about this month is that we not only have one full moon, we have two full moons this month. And what does that mean? Well, they always call the second full moon in a month the blue moon. So you've heard the phrase once in a blue moon. Well, actually, the blue moons happen about every 2.5 years. We'll get a blue moon. And it's just how the calendar works because basically you just have two full moons that are in the same month, usually the very first day of the month and the very last day of the month. So we got 31 days in May. And so that's what kind of makes it work this month. But so it's a blue moon. So we're going to have two full moons this month. And just so that you know, mark it on your calendar. The next new moon that we have coming up will be on May 15th. And then we start the new cycle. So I always like to note that in my calendar so I know, the cycles go with the new moon. That's when you start things and things come to culmination at the full moon, which is now. So I like to note when are those new moons, when are those full moons, so I can plan my projects around that. So I'm also using that lunar energy as well. All right. So to finish this astrological news part segment up, this is a deep, intense, transformative full moon tomorrow. You'll see it tonight, of course. And the Scorpio themes have to do with shadow work, emotional truth, power, control, release, and death and rebirth cycles. So just know that that's kind of the energy that we're dealing with in this full moon. Um, Collectively, there may be emotional intensity rising, secrets may be surfacing, and it's about letting go of what's been hidden or suppressed. So that's how one of the things to keep in mind as we work with this full moon energy. Uh, That's funny. I'm sorry. I'm reading the comments, but I'll add the comments to the show if it adds to the show. If you're watching, you can see these comments later. Um, okay. So let's move on now to Uranus entering the sign of Gemini. And that happened just this past Saturday on April 25th. So, Gemini, the sign of Gemini has to do with communication, media, AI, information, and duality. That is the Gemini energy. Usually you see the twins and it's, the polarity, the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, the duality of things having two, and it's an air sign as well. So that's Gemini. Uranus, the planet, has to do with disruption and awakening and innovation. So there will be radical shifts. What this means, you put them both together, Uranus in the sign of Gemini. And the last time that Uranus was in Gemini was 84 years ago. So this is, unless you're 84 years old or older, you've never seen this energy before, this Uranus in Gemini energy. So this is new for a lot of people. And not only that, it will be in this Uranus will be in the sign of Gemini for 7 years, for the next 7 years. These are the themes that will be happening. So we will have radical shifts in communication, radical shifts in the media, in AI, in truth, right? Information will be accelerating and there will be more awakening happening as people know and learn the truth. The challenge is that there could be overstimulation or misinformation. So it's important to gauge how much of this, digital media, are we consuming and really not be hooked on it, not be addicted to social media all day long, which, when we're scrolling on our phones are always with us. So it's easy habit to do. So we need to be aware of that. The opportunity in this energy is that there's going to be a higher awareness and conscious communication. So, there's the planet Mercury, which has to do with regular communications. Well, the higher aspect of octave of that is Uranus. So it has to do with higher communication, spiritual communication. Uranus has to do with ETs, so we're going to, that's been a lot in the news about UFOs and UAPs, and we're going to get into that because, we have a segment on that. So we're entering an era where truth and information are evolving faster than ever. This is about becoming more conscious of what we consume and what we broadcast energetically and verbally because things move fast. We're going to be able to manifest quicker. Or what we say What we visualize, we create, and it's going to be happening faster. So we need to have that mental discipline, really be mindful of what am I thinking? Where, what thoughts am I putting out there? Because our thoughts become things. And that's just how, it works. Let me check one more time on the comments here. Okay. All right. Let's move on to UFO and UAP disclosure. This is a big area, and I believe that this has to do with our human evolution across the planet. So let's take a moment to look at the latest UAP, UFO news, disclosure news, especially. So, disclosure is not something that happens to us, it's something that we participate in. So the members of Congress have been demanding the release of dozens, like 46 different classified UFO videos. And Representative Luna uh, gave this request to the Pentagon and made the deadline April 14th. Well, April 14th has come and gone, and they blew Luna off. She's pretty pissed off, and so she's pushing to the Pentagon to release these. So I can tell she's not going to let go of this, and this is a good thing because we need to be persistent in getting disclosure out. So. The other thing that's been happening is Representative Moskowitz. He's been calling for two congressional hearings having to do with this Pentagon refusing to give this information to the Congress, and also on these missing scientists. So you may be aware in the news, there's been a lot of news about missing scientists, dead scientists, all related to NASA or UFO technology and things like that. And so the media has made it a big thing. Well, Danny Sheehan, who's part of the New Paradigm Institute, feels like those connections that they're making are not necessarily real. They're making associations, but they're really not as connected. But on the other hand, Dr. Stephen Greer, he's been saying that, the deep state has been going after these scientists that, know about free energy or are wanting to disclose about the UFO technology that the government has, so Dr. Greer has been saying, this has been happening for years, and he's actually had friends and associates killed because of their association with the UFO and disclosure. And they don't want the black state, the people that have this technology. They're trying to keep it from us, and that's why this disclosure. It's important for the people to demand disclosure, which is what we're doing in Congress, but the people have to do it too. And let's see, at the same time, we've got Representative Tim Burchett, who's been online a lot. He's put forth a bill actually to defund Arrow. And Arrow was the office in the Pentagon that was created to be the recipient of all the information, all this UFO disclosure stuff. Well, they have not been doing their job. The former head of it apparently has lied about things, so he's been fired. There's a new person, but a lot of them just don't even trust Arrow at all, and they want, they feel like it's another arm of this misinformation and disinformation campaign from, this shadow government that has this technology. So he put that legislation forth, and also, Representative Eric Burlison has been working with the White House to prepare legislation to protect whistleblowers and force disclosure. So all of these things are happening. The Congress is very active. This has been something that's been building and building, and so I really feel with the way the energy is, we're going to get more and more disclosure. So be aware, read into it so you're not so shocked about this information. A couple of movies have come out, and let me share with you This one, there is a new movie called S4, the Bob Lazar story. He was S4 is right next to Area 51, and this is where there were some ET craft. And Bob Lazar, this documentary kind of explains that whole thing. So check it out. It's on Amazon. I'll have a link to the Amazon store so you can watch the video. You can rent or buy it. And it was very good. I did watch it. Now, there is another movie coming out by Jeremy Corbell called Sleeping Dog, and that's going to be released on May 12th. So that's going to be coming up. This movie explores Corbell's role in bringing military filmed UAP footage to the public and even to members of Congress. So I don't know a whole lot about this movie, but I'm looking forward to seeing it because I think Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp have been one of the forerunners besides Dr. Stephen Greer and Russ Colhart, really setting the pace for getting this disclosure done. So definitely check him out. Now, the other person who's also put a movie out recently is Dr. Stephen Greer. He put out a CE5 movie. I'm going to share with you the tiny URL. It's called CE5, The New Frontier, something like that. And so here's a tiny URL that you can watch. Go to actually rent or purchase a movie. It's on Amazon and also other platforms. So this movie that Dr. Stephen Greer did has to do with CE5 contact, which is where humans are initiating contact with the ET beings. We're using a certain protocol that he developed. So this is something also that's happening this Saturday across the planet. These CE5 groups are all around the world, and it's where groups of people get together and meditate and reach out to the ETs, and they do get all kinds of different, from healings to seeing craft come and having communication and things like that. And the first Saturday of every month, Dr. Stephen Greer recommends that we all go out there and do the CE5 from 9 p.m. to midnight in your time zone, whatever time zone you're in. So from 9 to midnight across the planet, there'll be all these CE5 groups kind of communicating and sending love and peace to the ETs. And so this is just really important because he has the feeling that, the government's not going to do it. It's going to have to be we, the people, that are the ambassadors to these new, our star family. And so, disclosure is going to happen one way or another, from the top, from the bottom, it's happening. Another thing with Dr. Stephen Greer that's coming up, and let me make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. 25 years ago, there was the Disclosure Project presented at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. on May of 2001. So 25 years later, he's going to have another celebrate this anniversary from 2001 of the National Press Club. And what's really, now, if you can go there and be there, they have 300 seats. They may still have some seats left. I think it costs $50 to get in if you happen to be in DC. But if not, they are live streaming this on his YouTube channel, just drstephengreer.com. And I'm going to give you his website here too, so you can get more information. Then he's also having the next day on the 9th in the afternoon, a 4-hour workshop, and you can actually live stream that. There is a small cost. It's only $25, but I think it's well worth it. I may be restreaming the presentation, this press club event, on Friday on my channels. I may be doing some commentary. It depends. So I'll let you know, but look out for that on May 8th. I'll let you know more about it next week when I do this episode again. Okay, so let's see. And so that's what I wanted to share regarding Dr. Stephen Greer. So let's now talk about Citizens for Disclosure, which is the grassroots arm of the New Paradigm Institute, which is all about, it's a grassroots effort to demand UAP disclosure from our government, from our Congress. And so I have been with them for probably about a year and a half, working with the state of Florida, because that's where I'm registered to vote. And I actually have a video to play for you. Um, what the organization is doing right now is a transparency pledge campaign. And, this is why organizations like Citizens for Disclosure matter, because transparency doesn't happen just from the top down. It happens from the ground up. And I think also from the sides. It's coming from every direction. But this transparency pledge campaign is a pledge that we're asking all of the Congress people, right? And there's over 500 of them, and candidates that are running for office to take this pledge. And so I'm going to play this video for you right now so that you can see what it's all about. Here we go.
Change doesn't start at the top. It starts when people decide something matters and act on it. For decades, information about UAP, commonly referred to as UFOs, has been limited, delayed, or withheld. At the same time, Congress has pushed for answers, but hasn't always received them. But now, there's a way forward. The UAP Transparency Pledge asks members of Congress to commit to lawful disclosure, stronger oversight, and protecting whistleblowers who come forward. But here's the reality. They don't move unless you ask. So ask. You can contact your elected officials and make your voice part of this process. Visit newparadigminstitute.org and take action today.
Okay, so that is the video that's out right now from Citizens for Disclosure. So you can actually urge your congressperson to sign this campaign, and I made it real easy for you. I have this link, tinyurl.com/capital GVTV transparency in all lowercase. This will take you directly to the New Paradigm page. You just fill out your information, and when you put your address in there, it knows who your representatives are, and it sends that email to them. And please take this action. Your taking this action will really make a difference. And not only take this action for you, do this for your for your family, or tell your family and friends about it, so they send the link to them and ask them to sign the pledge, to get their Congress people to sign the pledge. This pledge is about transparency. It's asking the Congress people to push for UAP transparency, to push for whistleblower protections, to push for transparency on all levels of government. And so we're putting the pressure on our Congress people to make sure that it's not just transparency in UAP, transparency across the board. This particular campaign is for UAP transparency disclosure. But it really, this is, we need to have government in the sunshine, which is something that they had in Florida, which I don't know what happened to it. But anyway, so please take this action. It's so important. All right, let's now talk about galactic good vibes. So, as part of my volunteering with the Citizens for Disclosure, I started interviewing different ET experiencers, people who have had encounters, and not just seeing things in the sky, but actual communication and working with and having relationships with our star family. So I've started this Galactic Good Vibes series, and episode 3 with Natalie Hill, hopefully, cross my fingers because I'm still editing, will premiere tomorrow night, more than likely. So the way you can check it out is just go to this tiny URL, tinyurl.com/capital GGV Hill 1. The way I've been doing this, because these episodes are so long, I'm breaking them up into parts. But her story is fascinating. So, if you've enjoyed these conversations about consciousness, disclosure, humanity's place in the cosmos, please check out this series, because you'll get to meet people who actually communicate with the ETs, and this is our my 3rd person so far that I've interviewed, and they're all so interesting 'cause I will tell you, I'm a believer, I'm not an experiencer yet. So, just to let you know that, but I hope to be an experiencer one day. So, please, check it out, and, I'll talk more about that next week. Okay. Now, I've talked about conscious activism, and I just want to let you know that, you know, we don't have to fight the system to shift it. We can actually outgrow it energetically. And one of the ways is, through knowledge. And the Food Revolution Network is something that happens every year. And the last stage just happened yesterday. But I want to tell you a secret. There's going to be a replay weekend this weekend, actually starting tomorrow, the 1st through the 3rd. You can watch all of the 8 episodes at your leisure. They're a few hours long, but whatever you can get is so worth it. I'm going to give you the tiny URL here where you can sign up for it. It's free. And there's 8 different episodes, and they talk about, food as medicine and how people who have handled different health issues and improved their health by just changing what they eat and really going whole food, plant-based. So their recipes, Ocean Robin's so good. What a great person, and just the fact that they do this free series. Now you can purchase the whole series if you want to. They call it the empowerment package. And just to let you know, disclosure from my part, I am an affiliate with them, so I do get a small commission if you purchase that package. But all of this is free right now. So check it out. It's so worth it. Every year I watch it. Every year I'm getting new information. I'm getting new recipes. He has the top-notch scientists and doctors that are on the cutting edge of nutrition science, and so he gives you the latest. So it's always great to check this out every year that it happens. So check out the Food Revolution Network. And now let's wind down. We're going to shift now and take a few minutes to integrate everything that we've talked about today, from the full moon in Scorpio, about bringing deep release and emotional truth, to the awakening shift of Uranus in Gemini, and the grounding force of Beltane, which is happening tomorrow. So I am going to lead us in a short meditation. If you are unable, if you're driving or watching or using heavy equipment, please don't do this meditation now. Just watch a replay. So I'm going to get the music going. And get us in that mode to go within, because within is where all the answers are. So let's begin by gently closing your eyes and bringing awareness to your body and your breath. There's no need to change anything. Just notice. Inhale slowly through your nose and exhale fully. Again, inhale and exhale, releasing any tension in your body. Now imagine yourself standing at a threshold. Behind you is the energy of the full moon in Scorpio. Deep emotional truth, release, and transformation. You don't need to relive anything. Just allow anything you're complete with, to gently fall away behind you. Now take a slow breath in and exhale, letting go. Now feel a subtle shift in your awareness. Above you is a spark of light, electric, clear, and awakening. This is the influence of Uranus in Gemini. It brings insight, perspective, shifts, and new ways of seeing. Inhale and feel your mind open and become more open. Exhale, release the mental noise or rigidity. Now turn your attention forward. Beneath you rises warmth, steady, nourishing, and alive. This is the Beltane energy, life force, creativity, embodiment, and renewal. It rises through your feet, your legs, your heart, bringing you back into your body, into presence, into life itself. Now, all three energies are working together within you. Scorpio, release what is complete. Uranus, awaken new awareness. Beltane, bring life into expression. You are not fragmented, you are integrating. Take a deep breath in and exhale slowly, allowing everything to settle. Now, silently affirm, I release what is complete. I welcome new awareness. I embody my life force fully. One more breath in and gently exhale. Feel grounded and alive. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So, how was that for you? I hope that that put you in a good state. And now that we're ready in this kind of relaxed inner state, it's time to talk about the spread of the week. So, as you know, I have been sharing uh, spreads from this book called 111 Spreads, Oracle Spreads for Every Day by Crystal Banner. And you can get this at my Amazon store. Just go to good-vibes.tv and click on the Amazon button. You'll see it there. And so, since this full moon is a powerful time to align with possibility, let's see what the cards have in store for us. So, I picked for us a full moon release spread. And let me show you the, here we go. Make this a little bit bigger for you. Oh, too big. This is what the spread looks like. And so the first card represents what is this full moon illuminating that needs to be released. The second card represents what inner resources can I call upon to help me let go. Card number 3 is what space will this release make room for? And then card number 4, how will this new space empower me? So let us, and I'm trying something different with my camera here, hoping I can make this work. I have a separate camera to show you the cards a little bit better than I've been doing it. So let's ask Great Spirit to help us answer questions with the spread for the highest and good of all concerned, whether you watch this now or on the replay. Will get information. And so, card one that I'm getting, oh, it's called Orphan. So let me switch this to here. So the first card is called Orphaned. So let's see what that card means. This is not a tarot deck. I'm familiar with the tarot and do tarot card readings a lot. But I also like using all kinds of oracle decks. I feel like they're like a cell phone to the universe. And basically, if you ask with a pure heart, good intentions, you always get an answer from spirit. You just have to know it. All right. So, what is this full moon illuminating that needs to be released? Essential meanings for this card: a sense of loss, an identity crisis, recognizing that you don't fit in, the need to belong, uncertainty about your place. So that's what this card represents. So those would be the things that the moon is helping us to release. I'm going to read a little bit more from this oracle message. We were all meant to have connections with other people within our family, society, and the larger culture. No man is an island. And it's important to recognize that when being a part of rather than separate from is essential to your well being. The issue at hand is the need to find where you fit. Be true to your core truths and values. Perhaps you no longer identify with a group or community the way you did before and need to find a new situation. You might feel a deep sense of loss or confusion. Address the need for belonging and know that you will find your place with others of like mind and spirit. It's okay to let go of pressure to fit in. Not everyone will understand you. It's time to move on. Interesting. And again, intuit what this means for you. And if you want to put it in the comments, awesome. I'd love to know. Okay, so card number 2 represents: what inner resources can I call upon to help me let go? What inner resources can I call upon to help me to let go? And the card I've got is Treasure Island. So I want to put this. So let's see, this card goes here, and Treasure Island would go like this, according to the spread. Okay, so card number 2, what inner resources can I call upon to help me let go? Treasure Island, number 9. And this is from Colette Baron Reed's Wisdom of the Oracle Pocket deck. Treasure Island. The essential meanings are the law of attraction bringing dreams into fruition, the result of positive thinking made manifest, abundance appearing as if from nowhere, financial gains, and the sharing of good fortune. The message: you've worked hard and acted upon your unwavering belief in abundance, and suddenly, in the midst of it all, you hit the jackpot. You have uncovered the map to buried treasure and tap the unlimited potential within you. What you must now hone in now What you must hone now is your ability to recognize when X marks the spot, because some of these golden opportunities may be obvious, but others may not be so readily apparent. Trust your intuition to light your way now as you enter this truly prosperous phase where all the long, hard work navigating your inner life is now paying off externally. In all aspects of your life at this time, you have good fortune. Don't forget to enjoy it and share it with others, as treasure shared multiplies like magic. And I believe in that. So, which inner resource can I call on to let go? Okay. So, if we're feeling orphaned, and we need to release that feeling of not feeling a part of, Um, the inner resource is just law of attraction. What we focus on, we attract, and abundance that is around. So we have the abundance, we have the inner resources to call upon to help us release, what needs to be released. Okay. Card number 3 is, what space will this release make room for? Okay. Shuffle the cards. I feel like I should have pulled all 4 at once instead of doing it separately. And this one just jumped out. Okay. And this card is no place like home. And so that one's supposed to go like that. No place like home. Which makes me think about Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. There's no place like home. Essential meanings: authenticity, coming home to yourself, feeling at home, arriving at a place where you just fit, being comfortable in your own skin. The oracle's message is home feels safe and secure. It's a comfortable place to rest and create, a place that is known and that you can call yours. Um, this card signals that your ability to trust yourself and feel at home, even in your own skin, is beginning to solidify as you claim your dignity and integrity. Aspects of yourself no one can take away from you. You know who you are. You hold your head high, yet with neither pride nor humility. Instead, you stand as the observer, seeing through the eyes of your soul. This puts you in a position of power and strength. Authenticity is your home. You are safe here in the house of your spirit and spirit, the great spirit. So what space will this release make room for? So coming back to our authenticity, right? And I'll try to put this all together once we get this last card. And the last card in this reading, this full moon reading, the question is, the card represents, how will this new space empower me? And not for you. Not for you, number 6. Okay. Essential meanings: a clear knowing that something is being denied. Rejection is God's protection. There are times when it appears that no matter how deeply you desire something, no matter how hard you work at something, the result you seek always seems to elude you. It's as if you don't really get to be in the game and you feel you're just watching from the sidelines. The appearance of this card indicates that you are not going to attain what you want right now, that indeed your dreams for that exact thing will not be fulfilled. This is a time to radically accept that not everything is available to you when you want it. Take heart. For there are benevolent forces who desire the best for you and have a much clearer idea of what is for your highest good. Rejection is God's protection. Something much better that will make you truly happy is on its way. Trust this. So, how will this new space empower me? This one I'm having a hard time putting together here. Okay. And you can't really see all these cards with this particular screen. So, overall, so let's look at the first card. What is this full moon illuminating that needs to be released? And so this is from what we were reading, not feeling part of a particular group, not being with your people, feeling orphaned. So this is something that we need to be released. And I'm feeling like This has to do with our global situation and even the ET situation. We need to get over the separatism that we have and, feeling orphaned, feeling like you don't have a family. Um, but we all are part of the same human family. And, this is what this idea of that we're separate, that we're not connected. I believe that's what this spread is saying to let go of. Um, what inner resources? The inner resources that we are abundant beings. Law of attraction, we attract whatever it is that what we're focusing on. So we got to be aware of what we're focusing on. So, um, as far as we've got the inner resources to help let that go. Card number 3. What space will this release make room from? And this has to do with a place like home, meaning our authenticity, um, of being true to ourselves and being okay with that, not being who we are and not trying to be somebody else. Um, and how with this new space empower me? Rejection is God's protection. So, if we were feeling orphaned from certain groups, perhaps those groups weren't, they're not our people. We're not supposed to be with those people because they're not helping us. So, interesting. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this full moon release spread. Again, if you want to get the book or that deck, um, check it out on my YouTube, on my Good Vibes, my Amazon store, which you can get to by going to good-vibes.tv. All right, my friends, it is now time for the tip of the week to raise our vibrations. So, last week's tip of the week, or the last time I had a show, because I will confess I missed last week. I had too much going on and I just didn't have a show last week. So, but I have a show this week. So the last time we met, though, the tip of the week was to honor the pause before the beginning, because that was the dark of the moon right before the new moon cycle. And so, in our culture, we are conditioned to do, to also, always be creating, moving, doing. But the universe works in cycles, and even nature needs to rest before it starts its new growth cycle. So it's important to take the time to journal, to meditate, to reflect, and to release. And again, with this full moon happening tomorrow, it's another great time to do that right now. This week's tip of the week is to be intentional with what you consume. And I don't mean by food, I mean by information. We want to limit the information overload, take breaks from the media, can you get away from your phone enough, or your tablet or your computer or even your TV for a day? Can you do a day fast of your digital? Is that even possible? And if it's not possible, if that's like freaks you out, think about that, consider that. So it's important to take time to just be in silence and not have something going on all the time. Not everything deserves your attention. Your energy is valuable. And this is, what do we have? Our time and our energy. And so what we focus our energy on, this is what we're growing in our world, in our personal world and our collective world. So your energy is valuable. So be intentional with what you consume. You want to consume good things that raise your vibration, not things that bring you down. The news is just, always focuses on the negative. So, I know we are made to, figure out what's wrong so we can fix it. But by doing that, we're focusing on what's wrong. And what we focus on, we create more of. So we have to make that pivot, that shift to focus on what is it that I want, and focus on that and consume things online that can help you get to what it is that you want to create in your life and our life in general. All right, my friends, I want to thank you so much for spending the time with me today. And remember, thoughts create your reality. Your thoughts create your reality. Your vibration attracts your experiences. And together, we are raising the vibration of the planet altogether. If you got some good information from this episode, please like, share, and subscribe. Share with a friend. You know, it, get the word out. Let's counteract the negative news by putting out good news out there, positive news, things that will lift people up as opposed to, keeping them stuck in a negative vibe. All right, my friends, I want to thank you so much for watching today. So take the time with this full moon and Beltane, take the time to be with yourself, to reflect, to get to that home, that authentic place. Find out who are you really, because who you are is perfect. It's exactly what you need to be. All right, my friends, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Peace out, everyone.